I'm inspired by Corey Redwine.
100%.
I'm inspired by Blair Wiggins when I see that passion. That's the whole thing of inspiring each other and challenging each other. And at the end of the day, that's how we win. We're blessed being in the marine industry at a long-time company, being partnered with One Water Brands of 51 million clams, 52 million right now, 54 million this afternoon will be put in the water. But people have to remember that cost. CCA, they're another group that inspires you. My favorite saying of all is, we're all connected by water. And that's where when I found you and I'm like, that sums it up perfectly. And that's what this collective represents.
You just gave me goosebumps.
This is the Connected by Water podcast, fueled by Papa's Pilar Rum, who remind us never to be a spectator. And protected by Starbright, where it's always Starbright season. Special thanks to our sponsors, Seaward Systems, Holokai, Parchview, and Lingchini for their great support of our show. This special edition travel episode was recorded on location with our legendary guest.
Gregor, this is the 4th annual event. It's been so cool to be here and see it evolve year after year. This is another outstanding event, huge success, right? We've been here for like a few days. We all got a chance to fish, which is awesome. That's all in the fabric of this. It's not just about planting mangroves and everything. I don't want to belittle that, but it's about
enjoying the resource,
living the life and enjoying the resource and just let's go, and you're such a big inspiration to everybody for this event. Like, it's your energy that you bring to this is just undeniable, number one, but I don't want to say it's necessary, right? It really is. Everyone feels it, like, and when you're around, everyone's just happier. And
Look, if you're not going to be smart, you better be passionate if you want to win.
Right, yeah, and but the big buzzword today is purpose, okay? And I just had Corey on. We talked about how just the environmental aspect, the conservation, preservation, restoration of everything that goes on, not only just here, but everywhere. That's in Starbright's DNA. That started with you. Explain that to me.
Older brother. I came from a super competitive family. I was the youngest. Probably the least talented athletically, and so I had to work twice as hard as everything from that point of view, and we were just so competitive. And I attribute all of that to my dad and my brother, that was growing up in that environment and being taught that winning is important.
Yeah.
And doing it the right way to win is even more important, but you only can get pride in winning if you do it the right way. But that competitive nature is where that passion comes from.
Okay.
And then it's also hanging out with the right people too, because like when you talk about it, like I'm inspired by Corey Redwine.
100%.
I'm inspired by Blair Wiggins when I see that passion, and I'm just riding on their coattails and bringing some of what I can bring to the table with what they already have it together. But that's the whole thing of inspiring each other and challenging each other. And at the end of the day, that's how we win. That's how we're going to drive this thing down, is taking all their passions and leveraging relationships. Mm-hmm. Bringing in some of the corporate world. We're blessed being in the marine industry at a long-time company, being partnered with One Water Brands and all of our sister companies now, and just working with guys for a lifetime that you can now hit up and say, hey, we need your help, we need your support, and how do we bring it to turn it into funding to support clams.
Yeah.
51 million clams, 52 million right now, 54 million this afternoon will be put in the water, but people have to remember that cost. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we wouldn't be able to do it without all our partners, as you know. I mean, CCA, they're another group that inspires you. Since I was a kid, the first environmental awareness I had came from the CCA and the affiliation with the CCA, and I felt they helped shape, because they weren't tree huggers as we talk about. They were, to me, what a true environmentalist and outdoors company is. How do we make it better? Cleaner water, more habitat, better structure, doing it the right way. Understanding commercial fishing is a part of it. They're not the enemy, they're a part of it. And how do we bring everybody together? And my favorite saying of all is, we're all connected by water. And that's where when I found you and I'm like, that sums it up perfectly, and that's what this collective represents.
You just gave me goosebumps saying it. Yeah,
no, but we've talked about it before,
yeah, but it's great.
I mean, and it's like at the end of the day,
it's great.
We're all fishermen, and we're all dumb enough to put up with boating because we all know how frustrating it is,
right.
and it's that madness that drives us, and it's the water that brings it all from in there, and people from so many different lives and different views, and it transcends religion and politics and all the BS of the world because we're fishermen.
Right. Yeah, and you bring up, it's so cool that you brought up the CCA like that and their involvement in this event, not only just this event, but everything you guys do together, everything that we do together. Derek has been an artist with the CCA for a long time. I've been an artist with the CCA for a long time. People sometimes ask why, and I said, how could we not? Not only are they a great environmental group, but they always look at the perspective from the angler's rights. And they really take that perspective, like, no, we can do environmentalism the right way. And it's not just for politics, it's for purpose, and it's for meaning, and it's for seeing real results, real action, and that's why they're here today with us.
They're here everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't turn around without stepping on the CCA. Everything we do, without even collaborating. Wonderful people, super hardworking,
yeah.
and they really make a difference. I always encourage everybody that is the best organization you can be affiliated with. And I love that they're partnering with Duke Energy now, and that the passion that Duke's bringing and their commitment. You think about it, all their businesses on the West Coast, but they're over here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Where their competitor's electric company is doing gooder, as Corey would say, putting money where it is just to help the environment, and that makes me feel good about some of corporate America and the approach of some of that, and making sure they're channeling it the right way.
Yeah, we talk about Corey Redwine, her evolution with the company, and how it all just naturally progressed into her being the conservation director. And that has got to be something, this whole project, her and Derek, I know it's something I know for a fact, it's something that's near and dear to your heart, right? But it's also something that I think is really important. Okay? It's not just a pet project, it's a meaningful project. It's something that's making a real difference, right? And it's something that we see evolving and progressing year after year. This is the 4th annual, and it's only going to get bigger and better from here, right? Where do you see all this kind of evolving to, like with conservation in general, but specifically through the conduit of this program?
Well, I think the Canaveral area was always a home away from home for me.
Okay.
One of my best friends lived there, and ever since college, I've been going over there on a regular basis fishing it. I've known the Redwines for 30 years. We didn't work together then, but just being who they were in the community and running into them, doing some cool stuff. But where do I see it going is expanding. I think we own the Canaveral area. We've done such a great job. We own the Indian River.
Yeah.
We've made such a big impact. We've got to finish what we started here and continue. But how do we spread it? How do we go to the west coast of Florida? How do we go down to the Keys and the rest of the country, for that matter?
Right.
Everywhere there's water, there's our passion and what we do. And so that's where I see the expansion is this movement growing. And making people understand that community outreach works. I'm talking to you now, and I keep getting distracted because what your viewers don't see are the hundreds of volunteers behind us right now that are building mangroves, that are making coral rings, oyster rings, getting ready to watch another big deployment of clams. And it's just so cool being here and watching everybody working. They're not here for free beer and a free
look how
lunch.
happy they are.
They're working and they're building and they're investing in their community, and we need to continue that momentum.
100%. Seeing that drone go up earlier was so cool. That thing is huge, number one. But the mechanism that Blair and his buddy developed to
feed the clams.
To feed the clams out there, it's impressive, man. It's really impressive. It's thinking differently. It's getting it done the right way, and
think what it means. We started out with X million clams, and we've named a billion clam initiative.
Yeah.
If you're going to put a billion clams in the water, you better have a cool device that's going to help you get them out there.
And billion's a big number.
I think when we first started this, we were impressed putting 100,000 clams out, and yesterday we put out 1 million clams in under 15 minutes. That's incredible. And then the reach that it gives you and where we can continue to grow it. But that's some of the really cool results.
That's phenomenal. Gregor, you're an inspiration. And I thank you for involving Connected by Water in everything we do. And it's just, we're proud.
Well,
We're proud.
I'd use the simple word ditto because, again, we're really proud to be affiliated with you. You know I love your art. We have been as friends along with these guys here now, but we're going 4, 5, 6 years, and I've enjoyed it. And I really, really love the fact that you're as committed and helping out, and that you've helped give us that term, the Connected by Water, that really represents what we're trying to build. Thank you.
Thanks, Gregor.